Uh, for example, let's have an example, and then I'll give you the reason why the author can do that. So if we have an example of a heading, we have a poem that goes by the title, I Met a Thief. Now, if you're someone who is rushing and you only use the heading to come up with the idea or to give you an idea of what is found in the poem itself, here you might conclude that the poem I Met a Thief is about someone who has been robbed or who comes face to face with a robber. But in real sense, this poem, so let me give the two definitions. So the heading might get you, sorry for that. So we have the heading might get you thinking, that the poem is about an encounter with a thief, but in real sense, it is about a young man. Who meets who meets a woman for the first time and falls in love with her. You see, such a case can confuse you as an examinee, because you'll think that this thief is a physical thief, but in a sense, it talks about someone stealing the affection from one person to the other person and not the other way around. And then apart from that one, we have another poem with this title. Is called Building the Nation. So for the sake of copyright issues and other legal matters, these poems, they are not mine, and they are common poems that are being used to teach learners. So I'm taking the same route, and anything concerning the poem should be done to the one who wrote the poem. So under Building the Nation, so here someone can think that this poem is so the title gives the idea of patriotism. The title gives the idea of patriotism, but in real sense, it talks about the misuse. Talks about the misuse. Talks about the what's happening. Talks about the misuse of government funds by the politicians. Okay, so you see, such a heading can also confuse you. So you should be keen. You should not jump into conclusion, because if you conclude too early, you might make a mistake and hurt the chances of you scoring more than 1 mark or scoring a lot of marks in your exam. Now, the reason why some authors, some let's just say some authors or some playwrights use contradicting headings is to hide the true intent of the poem, or to be sarcastic or So that's not really right. So the reason why some authors use contradicting headings is to hide the true intent of the poem, or to be sarcastic, or to avoid public scrutiny, etc., and many others. Because there's some places in the world whereby if you write a poem that contains, let's say, ideas that are against what the government is standing for, or what the church is standing for, or any organization is standing for, you might face the long arm of the law, or you might be punished for whatever that you're doing. So some clever playwrights or authors, they just use a heading that will maybe confuse the ones who are targeting them, for them to be able to put across their message.